We are from the Highland Community Middle School, and we are doing a project that involves interviewing old-time residents of Highland to find out what life was like back in the day. Today's date is Thursday, September 20th, 2012. Today we are interviewing Lenice Gilbertson at her home in Highland, Wisconsin. The interviewers are Hannah McCarthy,
James Goodweiler,
Spencer Hedra,
and Willow Katara.
What is your full name?
Lenice Marie Fry White Gilbertson.
When were you born?
August 18th, 1938.
What were your parents' names?
Wesley and Ruby Fry.
Did you have any siblings?
I had 2 brothers and 3 sisters, and I lost one brother a few years ago, so 5.
Where did you live?
My parents rented farms, so we lived in assorted places. Castle Rock, Ebenezer, Stitzer. So I've been around.
Yeah, sounded like you traveled a lot.
I have traveled a lot. I went to Scotland where my son was in service, and I went to England, and I visited a lot of the United States and been to the Bahamas, and now I'm here in my little house, and that's it.
So when you say you rented, your parents rented farms?
Yeah, at that time, when you still had little farms, it was like 40-60. The landlord got 60 or 40, I don't remember, and you got the other part. And every spring, then you'd move here, and this guy'd move here, and this guy'd move back over here, and it was a lot of moving in the spring.
What did your parents do for a living?
They were farmers. My dad worked for John Deere place, but he was a farmer.
Did your family have a car?
We did later. We didn't right away when I was little.
Did you have to share a room when you were a kid?
Yeah, me and my 3 sisters we all went in one room together. Unheated room, because they didn't heat the upstairs. There were no vents or anything, so when you went up there, you got right in bed.
What kind of meals did you eat?
Probably, no, it wasn't the same as you guys, because we didn't have any fast food. I never had French fries till I was 20 years old. We had potatoes and gravy and meat and a vegetable. Most of it was grown on the farm. So that's what we had for breakfast. We usually had oatmeal because we couldn't afford all that cereal.
Where did you get your clothes from?
Shirts, my mother made them from feed sacks.
Where did you buy your groceries?
In Fenimore grocery store.
How often did you go to the store?
Friday night so we could go to the movie. It was only a nickel at the time. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of money, so we couldn't just go to the store. You usually had to trade in your eggs to pay for your groceries.
Did you have indoor plumbing?
No.
When was the first time that you had indoor plumbing, and where'd you live?
We lived outside of Fenimore on a farm, and to me it was a beautiful home. It had linoleum on all the floors. It had a bathroom, and it must have been about 56 years ago. Long time, and it was wonderful to have that bathroom. Others tromping out, in the day, especially in the summertime when you had to tromp out and you didn't know what was in that bathroom, like these stick things, these insects.
Stick bugs.
or bees or whatever. At least in the wintertime, they weren't there.
Now, when you moved to that house, did it have indoor plumbing, or is that something they put in while you were living there?
It was there. We got $265 a month.
Wow.
And was your split from renting that farm?
What?
That was when you were renting still?
No, we were, that's when I was married. Dad,
Oh, okay.
Dad, finally bought a farm by Preston. Never had any indoor plumbing all the time I was at home.
Okay. Wow.
Did you have refrigeration?
No. We had an ice box where you'd put ice in this and try to keep your stuff warm or cool.
So how'd you get the ice?
You had ice people bring it around, or you just went out and got some of your own stuff. Yeah, it was not fun.
Like in the winter, would you like cut out a block of ice that are like nowhere and just use that?
Something like that, yeah. And actually we didn't always have that. Sometimes it just set out in the entrance hall, to keep cold. But we didn't have the fast food, so we didn't have stuff that could spoil,
In garden.
Yeah, big garden, lots of food in the basement,
All
canned
fresh
food.
stuff.
Pardon me?
All fresh stuff.
Well, it was canned.
And then as far as your meat, did you guys butcher your own? Or did you, how did you get your meats?
We had pork quite often, but we had macaroni and milk, we had cornbread, we had rice. We didn't have a lot of meat. We weren't very well-to-do farmers
Mm.
at that time.
So what kind of animals did you have on your farm?
Cows and some pigs and some chickens and cats. I love cats.
I like cats.
Lenice loves cats.
I'm surprised they haven't come out to visit.
And how many cows did you milk? Do you remember?
Oh, maybe 15.
So that was like part of your chores that you...
I never had to milk the cows. I had to load up the wheelbarrow and haul the stuff out.
So what other chores did you do as a kid?
I stayed home, and when I was in high school and helped my dad haul hay. We mowed the lawn with a push lawnmower that actually was a push lawnmower. I cleaned the barn. We always had shocks. You know what a corn shock is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Dad needed corn, we'd have to go out and pick the corn off the shock and stuff like that. But I didn't have to do a whole lot of stuff.
Did you get an allowance?
No. Never heard of that.
What'd you do for fun while growing up?
Oh, you live on a farm?
Mm-hmm.
I roamed all over the farm, killed for every crawdaddy in the creek, played in the water. Not supposed to, but I played in the water. I had every gate named, and I just went all over that farm.
What games did you play?
Kick the can, prisoner's base, at
What?
school.
Yeah, what's
Explain.
prisoner's base?
You had some people over here and some people over here, and you had to try to get over here without getting caught. And if you got
Oh.
caught, I think they kept you and you had to play for them.
Okay. What kinds of toys did you have?
Didn't have any. I had a doll, and I had Mom's sewing machine, and I made that doll a lot of clothes.
So, you didn't really get anything for Christmas, did you?
You know, it's the funniest thing, because we had nothing. But at Christmas time, you can't believe all the presents we got. But it was always socks, underwear, school clothes, that kind of stuff. But it was wonderful.
Better than getting nothing.
Huh?
Better than getting nothing.
That's right, yeah. And it was exciting because you never got anything.
Do you remember any like snowstorms or ice storms?
Well, when I moved to Highland in 1958, I thought, my God, what am I doing here? We got that huge storm where every road was blocked. I thought if I could get back to Fenimore, I would be right there. But that was bad. My husband didn't get home that night. Drove a milk truck and he got stuck over by Cobb and oh boy, yeah. And then the ice storm of what, 76? That was kind of a nice thing though because it was warm. Where if you went into a tavern to get a hamburger because you didn't have electricity, they had the door wide open because it was warmer outside than inside.
Wow.
Aren't you old enough to remember
I
that?
wasn't born yet, but I remember people talking about it
Oh.
quite a bit. So,
Mhm.
What was your most prized possession growing up?
Well, I had a teddy bear that I really liked. And then I had a brother who is now I don't know, like he was he could have been an astronaut, but he didn't. He took it apart to see why it made noise. He,
I can see a brother doing that.
yeah, he did, and he was younger than me, but he took the speaker right out of it.
Did you ever travel to Madison as a kid?
Did I what?
Travel to Madison.
Yes, my grandma and grandpa Fry and mom and dad and us girls would get in one car and we'd go to Madison Zoo about once a year and it took forever. I mean, it really did. You drove slow and the roads weren't that good and we took a picnic lunch and it was wonderful.
do you remember what kind of car it was?
Like a 39 Buick, I think. Kind of square little thing.
Is that the only car you had, or did you have more cars?
Later on there were different cars, they got better, but we thought it was okay.
Did you ever go on vacations with your family?
Never. I don't think my dad ever left Grant County.
How did your family get news of what was going on in town, the country, or the world?
Radio. After we bought one. I was a little girl and they bought a radio.
Did you have a TV as a kid?
No. I was about 18, 20 years old when we finally got a TV at my mom and dad's house, yeah.
Did you ever go sledding as a kid?
Oh yeah, that was something you could do for nothing. We used to get on a piece of tin, imagine that, and ride down these huge hills on a piece of tin. Can you imagine?
Oh, that's safe.
And we had some old skis and we'd jump on them and didn't go very far, but we had them. Yeah, we liked to go sledding.
Did you have a garden?
Mom had a big garden and we all worked in it. She canned all of our food.
Did you have like a flower garden?
Can't eat flowers. That's what the Dad always said, you can't eat flowers.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Probably English.
What did you like about English so much?
I like to read. I love to read. So,
What did you do at recess?
we played ball. The whole school, there's like 15, 16 kids in a one-room school. We went outside and played and everybody played. It was wonderful. No gloves. You know, you caught it with your bare hands. Oh, it was wonderful.
Did you participate in any extracurricular activities at school?
There weren't any. You went to school and when you were done, you went home.
was the first thing you did when you got home?
Got into something to eat. Isn't that the way it goes?
Yep.
Do you have any other memories you would like to share of elementary school or high school?
Well, elementary school, the school was here and the bathroom was here, and I tell you, in winter time was that a trek and a half down there. And then there was a horse barn because some of the kids would ride horses to school. And we always had a end of the year school picnic. That was really fun because everybody brought all this good food. And moms and dads and everybody were there, and it was just, well, you know, the 15 families. And Christmas program, this one room school, and they'd put a old sheet or something up across the front, and then we'd come out and we'd have the program. We'd all act our parts out. That was fun too.
Where'd you go to school?
Ebenezer, Stitzer, Dixon, Fenimore High School.
What kinds of businesses do you remember in Highland as a young adult?
Well, we had that nice store, and in the bottom part was clothing and shoes. And there was a gamble store above the store, somewhere above the store, and then there was Howard's Drug Store that it was like a Ben Franklin or something. It had everything in it, and there's a lot of stuff. But there was 7 or 8 taverns, and there was a filling station up on top of the hill where the ambulance thing is at. There was an old man, Crocker. He'd be out there in front, and then he'd go out and he'd pick up anything on the road. He just kept that whole top of town clean.
Do you remember the movie theater?
Yes, I do.
Did you ever go to the movies? Like here in Highland?
No, I never did. Montford had one too, and I went there.
Did you have a favorite place to visit on Main Street?
Is my cat bothering you?
Yeah.
Just pick it up and put it down or turn it off or something, would you?
You can
Huh?
pause
Do you have a favorite place to visit in Main Street?
Yeah, Grandma's kitchen.
Do you have any memories of local events or celebrations?
Yeah, there was a big veterans parade here one time, and my kids and my nieces were in the parade, and that was a big day because a lot of people here. And they used to have really good fireworks, and then they'd have a really nice talent show, but you'd sit in the bleachers and they'd have this out there. And then they might have somebody with airplanes that they could fly around, and we came from Fenimore to see that.
Do you have any world events while growing up, like landing on the moon or assassination of Kennedy or people leaving for service?
Too old for that. I remember when Korean War started, and the others, we just didn't know about all that stuff, you know. And like I was married and had a bunch of kids by the time any of that stuff started.
What year did you graduate?
56.
And then what did you do after that?
I got married.
2.
Jim White.
How many kids did you have?
5.
Where did you live after you were married?
Over by Preston, and then we moved here in 58, and I've been here in Highland ever since.
When did you get your first TV?
When I was a kid? Is that what you mean?
Not just any time.
Well, when I got married and we moved to this farm, we went up and we got a TV and we paid $10 a week until we owned it.
How much was the TV then?
Probably $99. Yeah,
How many channels did you get on it?
3. Wow.
And I thought I got lucky with 12.
Yeah. You kids don't know.
I mean,
That was, you know, when I was little, we didn't have anything. We didn't even have a radio, so.
it was 4 channels for a long time.
I only have 12 on my TV.
I don't even have a TV.
Well, darn.
How has Highland changed since you were a young woman?
Oh, a lot. Lord, there used to be a lot of older people that did a little bit more drinking than they should have, and they'd be sitting on Main Street. A couple of guys would drive into town on their tractors because they couldn't drive their cars. Let me see. There was a big telephone office sitting there where the flag is on Main Street. And it ran. I mean, they used it there. It was a huge building. And there's a great big building up where the schoolyard was in the old school. Up the old high school. No, the elementary school. It was, yeah, well, there were a lot of buildings in town. There were a lot of different people in town.
What hobbies do you have now?
I crochet, I put puzzles together, I read, I play with the cats. That's about it.
Are there any other stories you would like to share with us about your life in Highland?
Well, we used to live up on the hill going out of town. And below us were 2 bachelors. I won't say their names, but there were 2 bachelors down there. And this one guy would come outside and he'd, ooh, he'd like, boo. It was really strange. Of course, we didn't know anybody, so we didn't, well, what could you do anyhow? Because he had a sane brother that was with him. But, let me see, what else? I can't think of anything else. What you should have done was given me this so I could have thought about it.
That's a good point.
Did you ever get in trouble when you were in school?
I got sent home one day.
And what happened to you when you got home?
I got it worse. I sassed the teacher or something. Now she was a little lady from Lebanon, and I was taller than her all the time. And I don't know what I did, but I think I sassed her, and she sent me home. Now we had a 2.5, 3 mile walk, and I had to walk that whole darn distance all alone.
Thinking about how bad you're gonna get it when you got home?
Yes, and I did. Folks always said if you get in trouble at school, you're going to get it worse at home, and they were right. Yeah, that's the only time I think I ever got in trouble.
Did you have like really good grades? Were you like a straight A student or no?
Nah, I was a good student, but if I hated math, I still do, then I didn't get good grades. Mm-mm.
So Lenice, what did you do as an occupation when you lived after you got married?
What did I do? I worked as a waitress in a restaurant.
What restaurant?
It's in Fenimore. I worked at the canning factory every night when I moved here to town, and my husband worked during the day, so he'd come home, tend the kids. I'd go to work in Cobb till the next morning at that canning factory. It was terrible. But it paid the coal bill.
And then after that?
school for 33 years. That was a wonderful job. I loved every minute of it, and I really miss it. I miss my friends, and I miss all the kids, and I miss, like you guys, 6 years since I've seen you, you know. You were probably, what grade are you in?
8th.
So you were kindergarten or first grade when I left. I missed the kids a lot.
Did you have your own car?
Never. I didn't even learn how to drive till after I got married. And then it's because my sister taught me, because my husband had absolutely no patience to show me how to drive.
So did you have to take driver's ed when you were learning how to drive, or did you just go take the test?
I didn't take driver's ed. We had this old guy in Fenimore that, as long as you knew how to keep it on the road, you got your license.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's weird how back then people were better drivers than now.
Well, you know, they didn't have the power in their cars.
And they didn't have cell phones either.
No,
Not as many cars.
no, there weren't. Yeah, now you drive from here to Dodge Hill and the traffic sometimes is awful. Yeah, I kind of almost quit driving because I got slammed into a few years ago, and I thought, that's the end of that crap. Then the price went up so high for gas that I decided, well, the heck with it. So if I have to go somewhere, I find out if somebody else is going there. I ride with them.
Ride with Betty?
Yeah, Betty. Would you get me that book there?
This book?
Yeah. Gotta show you something here. This was one of my report cards.
Oh.
I didn't keep all of them. This is for when I graduated.
Oh wow.
So what was the worst grade you've ever gotten?
I don't know, probably D. Well, maybe I did better in grade school.
Wow, that is amazing.
And I was a big reader then too,
Yeah,
so
you're an A student of reading.
I was an A student, or a reader, and we didn't have hardly any books in the library in Ebenezer. So I'd read them all, and then I read them again. And this book, I was just enthralled with this book. Now these things that are in here are old, but this was published in 1937, and I finally found one at a flea market because I had to have that book. I still remembered that book.
Wow.
It had all these, that Blue Lagoon somewhere where there's all these different things. Now they've discovered why they happened, but 75 years ago they hadn't done that. So it was wonderful. And we had Boxcar Children. Did you ever read their books? The first one?
Yeah.
First one is my favorite book, where they had to go live in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, I love that book.
So when you were a kid and you were moving from farm to farm each spring, how did you move your stuff?
Probably on a hay rack.
Tractor?
We didn't have a lot of stuff to move.
Did you have like a-
So were the houses you were moving to furnished with like a bed and...
No, we had beds and a dining room table. I don't remember a lot of other stuff.
Did you have like horses or nothing? Anything?
When I was little, we did. Yeah. Yeah, we had Pet and Bill. That was the transportation.
So other than that, you pretty much walked everywhere.
Well, Dad got a car finally. I can't remember. Oh, I know. It was it was this little box. Then it was so old that it had a top on it, of leather or something, and that came loose, so as you drove along, your top flapped. Never go to high school and that's what you drive up in. Oh God, it was awful.
So how many students were in your class when you were in that one building schoolhouse?
One room,
One room.
2. You know, that was the best school though, because you could learn all the way through. You relearn everything as you went along, because they had first grade, second grade, third, you know. I think I came into that school in 6th or 7th grade, so I got 3 years of free learning. And I helped, there was a slow guy that I helped a lot, and, yeah. But it was fun, and everybody was friends, and we didn't bully anybody. Yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Are your cats good entertainment?
Yeah, I love it. They have so much fun. And this one is a new, he's been here maybe 9 months. And then we've got Buzz, who's a great big Angora, and they hated each other. Now they love each other, and just watching them chase around up and down the furniture, down the hallway, oh, it's fun. Is there one out there too?
There's 2.
Oh. The Smoky 1, Smoky 2,